Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm Dr. O here with Total Athlete and Total Athlete Sports Medicine. This is our first podcast episode, and here, and our first guest is actually one of our co-hosts, Coach Dwight Johnson. He played in the NFL for a few years, an NFL veteran. Let him tell his story a little bit more.
Hey guys, what's going on? I know y'all see me on social media. I've been at this a long time with Total Athlete Sports Complex. We've been in operation for over 11 years. Played for the former NFL player, like Dr. O said. I played for the New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, and New England Patriots. So I'm glad to be here, guys. This is going to be the first episode of many. All right, we want to be able to connect with our audience, tell them different related stuff that's going to help them become a better version of themselves. All right, so I look forward, not just athletically, but mentally, spiritually as well. All right, go ahead.
So, Coach, you grew up in Waco, Texas, right?
Yes, I grew up in Waco. Born and raised in the heart of Texas, man, heart of Texas.
And then you ended up going to Baylor on scholarship?
Yep. And I'm going to Baylor from 95 to 99. I was at Baylor. I was an all-conference defensive lineman in the Big 12 during that time. It was, I was the first inaugural season of the Big 12 in 1996 was my freshman year. So yeah, man. But it was back then. It was more of a like the SEC, a running conference than it is a passing conference now. Now Big 12 is known for passing the ball and spreading it out. Back when I was coming up, it was different. It was smash mouth. Yeah.
When you decided to stay home, you had offers from different schools, right?
Yeah, well, I had it's been so long ago. I graduated high school in 95, but I had offers from, my top five, just put it this way. I had over 30 offers. My top five was Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Baylor, and let me see, it was one more, Arkansas, University of Arkansas. So those were my top choices. And I chose BU.
That's what's up. So, coming out of college, like, what was that process like, getting ready for the NFL draft? And I know your story is a little different, but how did that go for you?
Well, it was a stressful situation because, my senior year, Baylor's winning now. When I was in school, we didn't win a lot of games. We went 1-10 my senior year. Our freshman year, we had a winning season. By the time my senior year, we was at the bottom of the barrel in the Big 12. Did a good job. I did good enough to where I was still a top defensive performer in the conference and in the nation. I was top 15 defensive tackles in the nation. And it was just stressful, man, because I graduated college in December of that year of 1999, December 18th, and I went straight into the senior all-star games. Senior Bowl, a blue and gray all-star game that was played on Christmas Day. Senior all-star game, Senior Bowl, I played with Tom Brady, was in my class, Brian Urlacher, Chad Pennington, those guys, of that caliber. So yeah, man. But it was good. I just had to prove myself. I always had a chip on my shoulder, being that I was from Baylor University, and playing against some of these guys from the bigger schools like the Florida States had just won a national championship, Ohio States. I was eager to prove myself that I was just as good as they was. So yeah, man.
You had to beat out a couple of people.
Yes, when I wasn't drafted, so I went in as a rookie free agent. Oh, okay. So that really gave me more fire. See, some people get discouraged when things don't happen the way they wanted to. They get discouraged, want to go in the tank. Well, it just motivated me, and that's why I tell all my athletes, let it motivate you to be better. And I went out there in training camp with the Philadelphia Eagles, signed a free agent contract with them, rookie free agent in 2000, and actually signed one of the largest rookie free agent contracts. I probably really could have been paid as a draft pick. I just wasn't drafted out this rookie free agent, but I beat out 20 guys for one roster spot. Wow. 20 guys, man. And these were guys that was, so I had a 5% chance of making it. And I just made it work, man. I broke his finger. First day of training camp, man, I beat John Runyon across, left offensive tackle, right offensive tackle.
Remember that name? He was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler. He's in the Senate in Michigan, but he played at University of Michigan. Big offensive lineman, 6'7". I was giving him the business, man. And I broke my finger, man, and the coach said, because I beat him and I got the Donovan McNabb and tapped it. Coach, we couldn't sack the quarterback. Yeah. And I was like, man, my finger just dangling. And the coach said, well, you got to go see the athletic trainer. Went and saw him. And they was like, well, you can't practice. I said, well, I'll be darned if I let this one finger stop me from, achieving my NFL dreams of making an NFL team. So I just put a splint on it, wrapped it up, and went back out there and played, man. So every time I look at this broken finger, it reminds me of the struggle, what I had to do to get where I'm at, man. And everybody has a story to tell.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that wasn't the end of your story. You ended up. So you that was with the Eagles. I know you mentioned Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
So what happened while you were there? Did you have any? I remember you telling me a story in the past. We spoke before about them praying over you and kind of saying something about what was going to happen.
Man, that you bring back old man. I forgot. I told you everything, Doctor. I know we sit and talk about life all the time. That's a good thing. But yes, when I was a rookie on New Year's night, we had Bible study. We always had Bible study on Sunday evening. Because we couldn't be able to go to church. Well, we have it on Monday, the day after Sunday, because we play on Sunday. So we had Bible. And Brian Dawkins was there. Donovan McNabb was there. Jeremiah Trotter was there. Corey Simon. It was at Corey Simon's house. It was a few other guys. Michael Cardwell. It was a lot of guys. And Prophet was there. And he spoke to me. He said, hey, young man, stand up. He said, you're going to be a powerhouse for youth. He told me that. He said, I just want to tell you that. And, because during that time I was going through some changes, rookie year, it was rocky roads and stuff, trying to find my place, in this world. And I was a little bit lost, and he kind of gave me some direction. He said, you're going to be a father to many. Yeah. He said, there's going to be a lot of athletes that's going to come through you. And I speaking to my immature 24-year-old mind at the time, I didn't really know what he was talking about. I don't know. He just said I was going to be a father to many and a powerhouse for youth. Yeah. And all of them laid hands on me, man. Brian Dawkins, the future, Hall of Famer now, Donovan McNabb, all of them stood around me and they prayed over me, man. And that night, that's when my purpose was born. Yeah. And, of course, it didn't really start coming to fruition until 10 years down the road, because this is 2001. I didn't start Total Athlete in 2011. So that word, that prophetic word was for a point in time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Appointed time. So yeah, man. But it was great. But it gave me some direction. When football was over, I was able to see it clear. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So after that first season in Philadelphia, did you transition to other teams, or how long did that stint last?
Well, I got into my second year with Philly in 01, the fall of 01. And they're, football's football. It's a business. I made the roster, and they released me by after the third game. So after the third game got released, I was out of football for about 2 months. So let's say September 20th to November 20th. And within those 2 months, I worked out for the personal workouts with the Green Bay Packers, the Tennessee Titans, and the Washington Redskins. Well, you can't call them Redskins anymore. The Washington Commanders, as they call them now. Everybody's so sensitive when it comes to certain things. But, I worked out with those three teams. I didn't ink a deal. They was kind of, and Washington was just about to get me, but they was kind of, pedaling their feet with it. Like, we're going to pick you up and this and that. We really like you. And out of nowhere, here comes the New York Giants. I was getting ready to go to Thanksgiving dinner with my wife in West Virginia, and I got a call from my agent and said, hey, the New York Giants just signed you, man. They want to pick you up. They'll be down there in 2 hours to get you, because Philly and New York is on 2 hours away. Yeah. So, but I had a premonition. That's the crazy thing about it. I had a premonition 2 months prior that I was going to be picked up on November the 20th. Wow. It was crazy. Wow. And I forgot about it because I went through the process and I got discouraged, but I saw in my mind November 20th. And after those 2 months, I just forgot about it. And that night, lo and behold, it was on November 20th. Here come knocking at the door the New York Giants at 11 o'clock p.m. in a limousine to pick me up, to carry me up to New York. Wow. Ain't that something, man? You just never know how things will work out, man. But I kept the faith. A big part of my journey and my success now is faith. Yeah. That's what brought me this far. Yeah. Just being honest with you, man.
I agree with you. And I think that's why we connect so well, because we both men of faith.
Yes.
Like, nothing that I've done, I can say I've done it by myself.
Yeah,
it's definitely been blessed. And some people will call it luck, but I know that it's divine intervention that's gotten me where I am and actually brought me in your presence. And since day one, when I moved down to Georgia and decided I wanted to start a business, you were my mentor. I don't even know if I actually, you've heard me say this on social media, but I don't know if I told you this in person. This man is my mentor, and he's helped me and my business grow so much over the years that I don't know where I'd be without Coach Dwight. So that prophecy that the prophet came and when they prayed over you when you were in Philly, not only did it manifest itself, in my opinion, with the kids that we work out with and we train and I do physical therapy for, but it also helped young men like myself.
Amen.
And all the other people you surround yourself with, I'm sure they see you as mentors as well. And we're grateful for you, Coach.
Appreciate you, Doctor. Appreciate it, man. And glad to have you, man, because you had so much value as a total athlete. When you came in, it's just we went to a whole nother level. Because we never had sports therapy, and it's good, and it works hand in hand. You know, so if we get a kid that gets that falls and hurts his ankle, or so he comes see Dr. O. It's good to have. And there's also with kids that have injuries and they are maintenance. They just had little nicks and knacks. They need that. It's very important. It really is.
Yeah, it's a perfect merger.
It really is.
Perfect merger. Yeah. So when you were in Philly, is that where you met your wife? Or was it in New York? Okay.
I met my wife in Philly. I always say, I had some good times in Philly. Yeah, I met my wife in Philly. She was working for the Philadelphia Independent School District at the time as a child therapist.
Okay.
And we met I was out on the town at the Biz Marquee Platinum FUBU party. So I dated myself. And we was hanging out, and I just met her that night, man. Bumped into her, and the rest was history, man. I tell people, you be careful who you meet out there in the streets, because you may not be able to get rid of them. And latch on to you, man. Can't get rid of them. Nah, she's been a blessing, man. She's my business partner as well. I'm gonna be honest with you. It keeps me doing what I'm doing. Because with accounting, the bookkeeping, the apparel, as you see, the Total Athlete hats, all this is from our apparel side, our apparel company. The T-shirts, Total Athlete, everything. Yep.
That's good. So y'all have 2 kids now, right?
Yes, we got 2. We got 2 knuckle bucks. We got a DJ that's 17 and my daughter that's 15. Both from athletes. People know DJ. DJ's a up and coming. He's a rising star as a middle linebacker for Dutchtown High School as a senior, and he's poised to have a great senior year and do great things and stuff. So then my daughter plays basketball, and my son, he's verbally committed to ECU.
Oh, East Carolina.
Yeah, East Carolina. Carolina. He's verbally committed to ECU. Great program, man. He can go. The key is to put him in position where he can be successful. He can go to a program like that and really just stand out, and he ain't got to wait to play. He can come right in and play. So I tell these athletes, don't go with the biggest offer. Go with the best fit.
Yeah.
Some people go with the biggest offer. Well, if my biggest offer is Alabama, I'm going to Alabama. Well, okay. But is that your best fit for you? It makes a difference.
Your son, he had over 20 D1 offers.
Yeah, he had over 20 D1 offers, man. He had the Georgia Tech, the Kansas States. Where else? It's Army, Tulane. He had quite a few of them. Buffalo, USF, Memphis. He had some good offers. He had some real good offers, but it came down to where you number one on the board and where you can play, and does it fit your style of play? He's a sideline linebacker. He can play in space. He can blitz off the edge. He can blitz up the middle, and he got that mean. He got that mean streak about him. You know what I mean? He gonna get after him. I always say he gonna terrorize somebody's child. But no, man, he's a good kid though, man. And the student athlete got a 3.6 GPA as well. Daughter's the same thing. Yeah, daughter, she's going to be great. She's multi-talented in a lot of different things. She's a great businesswoman. She does hair. She sells things online. She showed me, Dad, I just made $500 the other day. I was like, wow, she got the entrepreneurship ability. She got it honestly, And so right now, she's very super smart. She even helps DJ if you got some work. She's 2 years younger, but she can help DJ on some things. You know what I mean? She's sharp, man. Super shooter. She get that from her mama. They're smart.
She plays basketball.
She plays basketball. Right? Yes. She's a basketball player. She started as a freshman for what's the Faith Christian Academy. Last year, so they play a national schedule in their basketball academy, like an IMG, smaller version of it. But she loves it, man.
And I'm assuming she got that from your wife. Your wife was a big time basketball
Yeah,
player,
my
right?
wife is the top leading scorer. I know she leads top 5, maybe even top 10 leading scorer in the state of West Virginia history.
Wow.
In girls and boys basketball. She finished 30 years ago. I don't want to put her age out there, but the only people that I know that are ahead of her is Pistol Pete, Maravich, excuse me if I pronounce his name wrong, and Jerry West.
Wow.
Outside of those,
Jerry West is the logo.
It is the logo. That's
Right.
the NBA logo.
Right.
So she's up there with them. So she's doing something.
It's good. Yeah, them jeans came together and made 2 awesome ones. Yeah, I spent some time with your kids, and they're amazing. DJ
Appreciate
and
it.
Lonnie, they're amazing kids, man. I just hope my 2 boys, they grow up to do some of the things that your kids
Oh, they
do,
will. They will. They will. They got you in their life, man.
Amen. Amen.
A tree is judged by the fruit it bears, man. They're going to be just fine.
Amen. So this Total Athlete wasn't your first business venture, though, right? You had
No, it
other
wasn't.
business ventures before?
Yeah, I've always been an entrepreneur. When I retired from the NFL in 05, well, end of 04, 05, I went and tried to get I had a business finance degree. I thought I was going to get a job at a bank or something, be a banker. Obviously, that didn't work out. So I said, instead of working for a system, I want to create my own system.
Right.
And I got into the restaurant business because I could bake real good and cook, and that was a passion of mine. And that was my first opportunity to get into entrepreneurship, was being a restaurant owner.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was back. I did that from 2005 to 2007. I sold the business, and after almost 3 years, sold it and got into training athletes and things like that. But it was good. It was a learning experience. I ain't gonna lie about that, man. Yeah. Shoot, taught me a lot. It was school of hard knocks. But that restaurant business made me a sharper businessman today because of the stuff I went through in that restaurant business 17 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning too. So it's like with business, it seems like the longer you can hold your breath, and the harder you work, the smarter you work, the more favor you seem to have when the time comes, when opportunity presents itself, then you'll be good.
Yes, I totally agree with you on that. And every business, when you first start, it has a learning curve. Yeah. The faster you can learn that curve and get it down, whether it's marketing or selling or whatever it is, learn that curve, master that learning curve. It gets you over the top. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think, is when me and you when you first joined us, we talked about value, knowing your value. Yeah. In business, you must know your value, or you're going to sell yourself short every time. Exactly. You know what you present. Don't undervalue your services. Exactly. That's the number one goal I could tell anybody in business. Never undervalue your services. Yeah. And please have a lot to value. If your prices are up there, make sure the value adds up too.
Definitely, yeah. Because I won't even say my numbers out in public. When I first started, when I was charging for what I do, one-on-one expert service from a doctor of physical therapy, and then I finally started getting some real coaching from some other physical therapists, and they told me, look, the sooner you can get your head around to charging what you're worth, the better off you'll be. And as soon as they said that, and I slowly started raising my prices to where they needed to be, and people still saw the value. Right now I have the most 5-star Google reviews for any physical therapy clinic in the Atlanta area. So we're still trying to climb, still trying to grow, but the proof's in the pudding. I have the social proof, and you're absolutely right. This wall itself, y'all can't see the whole wall, but it's over 150 kids that we have that Coach has helped get scholarships to play all football, basketball, run track, soccer, all over the country. Yeah, and you can kind of speak on that too, Coach.
Yes, of course, man. I always say everybody plays a part. Everybody has a significance. Everybody has a significance in life. Put it that way. If you look, you like, hey, these are the lives that I touched over the past 11 years. All the athletes, as you see, some of the top athletes. Devin Farrell is going to. He's an incoming freshman at Virginia Tech, Devin Lee is doing well. Vanderbilt, Chief Borders, Florida, Alabama. Everybody know the Will Anderson, the Nagurski Award winner, best Defensive Player of the Year award in 2021. He come out of here. Justin Eboigbe, his fellow guys that plays along the line with him at Alabama. You got 2 starting defensive linemen come out of our program. But as you see, we got a lot of. But each one of these young people have a story to tell. And I tell all my athletes, trust the process. Everybody was different. Will Anderson, story wasn't all, glory, paved with gold. He had to go through the fire to get where he's at. And a lot of people don't even know that. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was undiscovered until he was able to go to that senior game in the U.S. All-American game and really put himself out there. And nobody really knew about him, But he was on the south side of Atlanta working hard. When nobody else was, when everybody else was getting all the pub and all the hype, he was working, And I always tell him the cream is always going to rise to the top, right. What you do in the dark will always come to the light, whether it's the positive or the negative. Just make sure it's the positive, you know what I'm saying? So, but man, each one of these kids have a story to tell, and we got a big 23 class coming up with my son DJ Popo that just committed to University of Miami. We have another young man committed, Kay and Lee committed to Ohio State. All these guys are coming out of our program, man, and they coming to the surface. We knew that they were great, but the world just now finding out about them,
And as we continue to create more episodes, y'all see some of the other athletes that we have coming out of this program, and they'll talk about their stories and things like that. And then if you're in this area, or if you ever need mentoring or coaching, that's something that we provide. You can always give us a call. My business number is 678-532-7754. You call.
Yes. Ours is 678-232-7163. And you can find us both on Instagram and Facebook.
Total Athlete Sports Medicine on Instagram, on Facebook. Always giving out free tips and things like that. So don't ever hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help. We're servants. That's how we view ourselves, and that's why we've been able to grow in our lives and in our businesses as well. So we look forward to future episodes. This has definitely been great. Is there? What do you see yourself in maybe 2 or 3 years, Coach?
So what we're working on now is expansion. Okay. As you see, we're looking at different areas to expand the total athlete and total athlete sports medicine throughout the Georgia area. So that's our next step, man. That's what we're doing now as we speak. So that's the next span. Also, I do have a nonprofit organization called Stage 1 in Action. We help youth become better business owners and help them own their own business, fund their dreams. We're well established. We have a lot of resources, a lot of financial backing as well, to where we can pump, money into these kids' dream to help them be the best version of themselves, not just in sports, but just period in life. Because sports is the foundation of success. It teaches you hard work, discipline, dedication. That's what we base everything. That's our philosophy here at Total Athlete. But on top of that, you take that and you become a better businessman. You become a better teacher. You become a better doctor, lawyer. Right. Entrepreneur. It doesn't matter. So, but everything starts on the basis of our foundation: hard work, discipline, and dedication. Yep.
And y'all specialize in speed, agility, and strength training for all athletes, right?
Yes. Well, every athlete needs speed, strength, and conditioning, and agility, no matter what sport they play. If they don't have that solid foundation, then you can't build on top of it. So that's why I call it the total athlete. Build the foundation solid, then you build the skill on top of that, whether it's football skill, basketball skill, soccer skill training, or baseball. And so we do speed agility for all sports. We do football skill training for all positions. We do basketball skill training. And we do soccer skill training. So,
Cool. Well, that's the first episode of the Total Athlete Podcast. We appreciate y'all for coming out and watching it. Definitely look forward to more episodes in the future. And if you know anybody that would like to be on the show, definitely reach out to us. And we appreciate it. Appreciate you, Coach.
Yeah, hey, man. Appreciate it, man. Look forward to it. Good stuff. All right. Y'all have a blessed day.
Have a blessed one.
Yep.